And we are live. Welcome back, guys.
Super glad
Chocolate
to be back.
The chocolate chunk cookie. No, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
The quesarito is back.
Yeah.
The McRib, we're back like the McRib right now. Standing on business, boys. We did a little back end work on ourselves, not just on behind the scenes. What was behind the scenes, but here we are again.
Here we are, baby.
Yeah. I don't like that intro too much, but guess we'll work on that, you know.
We'll work on that, yeah.
Going to be plenty more episodes to come, so hopefully we get better in time, right?
Yeah. That's the goal, 1%.
Yeah, and that's what we've been doing since the beginning of this thing, right? We've been getting better since November fucking 29th or, December. I think we can go back to like December.
Yeah. We officially started it December 1st. We had started it sooner than that, but we were like, we need a date.
Yeah, December. I think it was like, I remember the first episode that's on YouTube. We still have it up.
Yeah.
December like 4th, I think it was exactly. But yeah, we're starting now because we've always had this mentality like, why new year, new us bullshit. We're just going to go straight to like new today, right now. Let's do it. Let's get started.
Yeah.
But that's the problem is we've always had these like, we're going to start now, but and then we're
Fail.
human.
Yeah.
We're human, we fall, and that's the reality of what's been going on with our lives. We have these things that we want to keep doing and keep progressing at and getting better at, and then we end up ultimately having our setbacks, our personal setbacks, which is it's normal, and that's why we started the podcast. That's why we started doing this whole thing, to kind of just show that we're all human.
Yeah.
To show the process of progression, and we've tried to get better. We're doing better, and I feel a lot better than I did December 1st, November 20, whatever the heck day I'm trying to pinpoint right now. I for one, I can hear it in my voice that I'm not having this same old podcast voice that I used to have when we first started doing this thing. And it's cool. A lot more changes to us too, as you guys can tell. The same shirt that I wore back then. No, just kidding.
Don't fit me so loose.
No, just kidding. But yeah, there's been a lot of things that have changed since then. There's a lot of things that I can say what I learned from the whole experience of starting the podcast, starting the whole process of us changing.
Yeah.
And I think, like we were saying a second ago, it's one thing we've learned from each other. What is it that you've learned from starting? What is it that we've learned from doing this whole thing of, the podcast, and what have we implemented and kept going?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I mean, I've learned a lot. Obviously, I've broken a lot of bad habits.
Right.
We were saying earlier when we started doing this little practice run, before the episode here, that I'm just a addict at everything. I broke the bad habit of smoking weed, which I never thought I'd do, and I've said it a million times before on the show. And I stopped drinking alcohol every day because I was drinking alcohol every day. I can't say that I've completely stopped drinking alcohol because those of you guys that know me, I still get a couple drinks in here and there. I can admit that, and I can admit that I'm also somewhat in control. Somewhat in control of that now. Mm-hmm. But what I've realized is I have a very, very difficult time with being in control. And I have a very lack of self-control, if that's a way to put it. I have a very way of lack of self-control because I have, if it's one thing or another, it's stimulant, it's coffee. I line up my energy drink right after my coffee. And that's probably like a bad mix in one day, coffee, then an energy drink, and then, but I like line these things up because I'm in my mind, I'm like, I want to feel the next rush. I want to feel the next stimulation.
Heart.
Yeah. And then not only that, like I overdo it with eating now. And I try to control that now because what I realized is after not drinking, after not smoking, I'm like, I want to eat more. I'm just going to keep eating. It's okay if I have a couple extra bowls of chicken and rice, even though it's not like the most harmful thing in the world. But you know how they say too much of one thing, no matter what it is, can be bad. Anything, even if it's good. Yeah, like you eat blueberries until we fucking puking up blueberries, and it's like probably not having a good day.
Yep.
So I've realized that I have a very hard time with self-control
Mm-hmm.
through all of this. That's one thing I can say for sure
Mm.
that I've gathered in the last year, and maybe not the most effective realization
Mm-hmm.
through all of this. What we could have been learning and could have been putting together. There's obviously a lot more that we can talk about. We're going to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the first thing I could really pinpoint is that my lack of self-control.
Yeah.
Is
No,
like
that's huge, bro.
yeah, and I've got to work on that.
Yeah.
But that's what this whole thing is. I keep circling back to that, but that's what we've
Mm-hmm.
been talking about. That's what we've
Absolutely.
been kind of growing, and I think that's where it all comes to. The purpose of this is just building self-control, building this whole thing from nothing, building blocks of. Sorry, getting a call here. Should have shut off all.
Wrong phone. Oh, my
Yeah.
business phone. No.
Should have been shutting off all
All
calls
external devices. No, but I'll pick up right there. I think it's beautiful that even I remember some of the first episodes that we filmed. We were trying to justify like, no, we don't have a problem. I don't have it like, you know, I specifically remember you saying like, no, I don't have a problem drinking. I just like to have a drink.
Yeah.
But now you're literally saying like, no, like I do. It's not necessarily a problem with one or the other, but it's just anything that you it's the addictive personality in us, right? And something we wouldn't have been able to realize unless we dove into this process of documenting it. Like we wouldn't have the videos to go back and be like, oh, like I didn't even realize this last year, you know? Like
It's pretty insane.
It's a beautiful process.
Yeah. And it's tough for me to internalize it because it's like, damn, dude, I'm starting so late. Like I hate that I'm starting so late. And I hate that I'm barely learning myself and learning new things about me and having to like break my systems down and break myself down. And that's what this whole thing has been, is breaking, like, let's get down to the root of it. Like we built a whole structure of ourselves, but like let's tear this fucking thing down because it's not fucking working.
Time to rebuild, right?
Yeah, let's take the fucking sledgehammer down to the knees, break it down, and then rebuild it all. And as a it's been a heck of a process, honestly, breaking it all down and rebuilding it back up. And that's kind of what the issue has been, and why there's been so little consistency. Not like the most maximum consistency. We haven't had the most maximum takeoff, like how cool it would sound. It would sound amazing to be like, yeah, dude, we did a couple episodes and we're like, we're popping out of limousines with our glasses on because we're fucking sick podcasters now. But it's not nowhere near that for sure. And we've fallen off because we're not. I mean, not to say that we stopped because we weren't getting the results that we wanted, but it was a bit tough to keep going and discouraging to keep going. But it has also been a really good learning process to rebuild from, and seeing the whole process, rebuilding and relearning. I feel good. Good. And I feel, I want to, for a lack of better words, I feel better than my old self. I wanted to say that I feel better than other people, but there was no one else that I was really, now that I'm realizing now, I was never really in competition with anybody else besides myself.
There you go.
And I feel better than that old, person that was constantly smoking weed every day, trying to find an escape in reality. Now I can cope with the tough stuff. I'm coping. I like not cope, but I deal with. I'm very uncomfortable right now. I wish I had something to like. I hate that I'm feeling this way. I hate that I'm behind on certain things. I hate that I can be doing more with myself. I was actually with a friend the other day, and we're barbecuing. I was kind of sitting there, like, venting, I guess, offloading some stress. And I was like, dude, I just hate that I feel this way. I hate that I'm not where I want to be, even though I've put in so much progress. And he was smoking. And he was like, here, bro, this will fucking help you. Like, this will help you smoke it all away. I was like, yeah, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
There you go, man.
I'm so much, and it felt like in that moment, I was like, holy shit, I really just rejected that and turned it down. Like
something you would have done anything to just get a little taste off that, like back when you were a younger kid, like 16, 17, 18. I'm like, bro, let me hit that, please. Like I'm going through it. You're just like, I'm good actually. Like that's the problem.
Yeah. Any excuse to just fucking escape, or any excuse to just get high, really. Yeah. But instead I was just like, you know what? No, I need to face this. Like I need to like embrace this moment. I don't want to like just take a puff and like I need to be here right now.
Yeah, respect.
As much as I fucking hate it.
Respect,
You know what I mean?
Because that's like, you don't grow when you're, for one, foggy or comfortable. You grow when you're uncomfortable. So that uncomfortable feeling just proves one thing: you're growing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That uncomfortable feeling is like, that's just, it's a law of the universe. It's an equation. Like, you have to be uncomfortable for there to be growth.
Yeah.
So if you're self-inflicting that and not taking every avenue of just like, no, I want to be present in this.
Yeah.
Because I know this is where the growth comes from, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to miss another moment.
Yeah, bro.
I know I was escaping a lot way back when, and I'm done escaping. I want to face it, and I know there's a lot of work to be done. I know that there's more that I could be doing. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it. I think we were talking about this last night. It's not. It's probably a lot more simple than what we fucking are making it, or that I'm making it. You know, I'm sitting here like seeing, you know, and we do it all the time. Or, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but
generally we do.
Yeah. When you see these, you know, people on, you know, this is like the one thing they tell you not to do, but you compare yourself to the internet and like social media, like influencers that are like crazy killing it off of nothing. And it's like, fuck, they make it look so easy. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's nothing to compare to, but I do feel like it probably isn't as complicated as I'm making it. I'm making life so much more complicated when I can actually be enjoying these little moments, because I'm only going to be in this exact moment of time
right now. Yeah, there is no, like, technically speaking, we shouldn't be living in the past, and we shouldn't be stressing on the future. We should just be focusing on right now.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, and that's the solid truth. There's been a lot of that understanding and that growth through everything in between the podcast and before it. And now that it's been, I think, when was the last episode? Do you remember?
Last episode I was on with you, I think it was Gem Tax and Accounting. No, yeah, because then after that you had the I forget her name, it was a tattoo guest. And then I think you had a couple other guests after that, but which, you know, I wasn't able to be present for necessarily. I was still involved, still doing stuff on the back end, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the last one I did with you was in
Let's look into it.
I meant to document it. I meant to write it down, actually.
Yeah, we've gone through a lot since.
Yeah, it must have been about 6 months, I'd say. That's what I'm guessing, at least.
So it was actually
April, May, like June?
7 months ago, I believe I had the finance expert.
Yeah, and I wasn't here for that one.
Yeah,
and
Steven Cannon. Shout out to Steven, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate all the guests that came on and really made the show what it was.
Yeah.
And we're really looking forward to rebooting it all.
Yep. Season 2 is coming, baby.
Yeah. Just getting back into it. And Jake's back in the fucking White House.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Can't get rid of this fucking guy.
Jake's back in the White House, and let's go. You know, so we had a lot of guests. I'm looking back at what we did here. We started Keeping It Raw segment. We've been trying different things. That was cool. I think Keeping It Raw is going to be a good segment.
We're going to keep it.
To keep going with.
Yeah.
We even, after Steven, we actually went to the donut shop and we tried to film a little bit. And that's kind of where we're like trying to try new things.
Yeah.
And then you realized to get a camera or get a microphone.
Yeah. Right? That process, actually, I was like, dude, we need a microphone. At least within the realm of tools. Like, we've acquired so much: lights, laptops, these microphones. But I was like, we need something to continue our progression, right, with our content, because we don't want to be, by any means, we don't want to be the guys that are just locked into one box, right? We want to have like some interviews, we want to have some vlog style, we want to have some travel, some lifestyle stuff, and and then, reviews. We're going to be doing some reviews coming up, that kind of stuff, reviewing other people's content. We'll probably start off with some of the top dogs in the space, like the Alex Hermosis and the Luke Belmars, those type of people.
Yeah.
But definitely want to find
reaction videos,
but definitely want to find and react to up and coming YouTubers like ourselves as well, and like see how we relate to them, see, you know, just honest, friendly debates maybe, like, hey, what we differ on this opinion. I think it's healthy and good content to just sit there and debate on different topics, right? And just, you know, see things from two different lenses. Nobody wants to be a yes man all the time and just agree with everything.
For sure.
Like there's no meat in those conversations,
no,
right?
Yeah, we want to kind of make things exciting for people that are watching.
Yeah.
And that goes with us just trying new things, and us, you know, and that's the reason why we weren't so excited about, you know, our progress in it all, because we're like, something's not something's not getting enough traction. Sure, we're getting a little bit of attention from maybe some people that are, you know, back home, or people, you know, that want to see and agree with us. But I mean, that only goes so far, and we want to try new things. We were trying to try new things. We were looking into new things to try, like going into we have the donut shop review, which was I want to admittedly say it was a failed attempt.
Got to start somewhere, right?
But it was an attempt, and it definitely gave us that influence for you, or, you know, for you to go with the mobile microphone,
the Rode mic, wireless, best in the game.
Yeah,
you know,
so
you know.
I'll probably have to get a Rode mic too, and that way we can do vlog style type, you know, more outside, and then we're gonna be outside with the podcast. We're gonna be outside with more of us. Maybe it might not be so much. It'll be Standing on Business Boys. It'll probably be, you know, obviously we can't take the logo with us, or maybe we can.
Some merch.
Some small, you know, make a small enough to go on the microphone and put our.
That's not a bad idea.
Microphone, the Standing on Business microphone on our microphone.
Get some merch. We need to get some merch though. A good T-shirt or two wouldn't hurt anything, you know. But you know, the process of like our, you know,
all ideas that we're gonna keep having and keep trying and stuff. We're gonna get oversized workout tees.
You're gonna see us in the gym. You're gonna see us in the gym, whether Michael likes it or not. Having the camera set up, not necessarily set up in the gym. We're not gonna be those guys that like take up a whole section of the gym to But you're gonna see, you know, like the day to day, like, you know, going to the office, going to the car lot, going to the gym, going to grab lunch, you know, all these things that we do within our day that really help us stay dialed in, locked in, because every little thing adds to the process, right? And
that's another part of what I can pinpoint of what we've learned inside of doing the podcast. And between the last year and some change is we didn't know any of this stuff.
No.
I didn't even know how to use that camera that you guys are seeing this on. I didn't know how to make a logo. I didn't know that cameras required light, you know, videography required lighting.
How important it was, really. Like, we but like we
would have disagreements pretty fucking often.
Yeah.
We boxed about.
Check it out on SOB Instagram.
Yeah, so that content's there. You know, it's on Instagram. Some short form. We've learned how to do short form. We've practiced. We've tried and failed in certain short form content. I can't say that we've tried and failed. But, you know, we tried short form content, and it did only so well. And here we are now, just continuing to try and give it our best. And we're going to continue.
Keep showing up, right?
Keep showing up. And I think we've already reached a certain level. Now it's time for us to reach even further.
Yeah.
There's going to be more, you know, that we can contribute to the short form content world. Hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to do, you know, talk to you guys from this camera here, and then talk to you guys from a camera over here, and then just, you know, that way we're both talking to each other.
Yeah, it's coming.
A lot of learning in that realm of things. You know, obviously the Standing on Business is us wanting to stand on business in our personal and professional lives, but we've learned so much about putting together the camera, you know, the production of camera and stuff like that.
Just the stuff you guys don't see, you know, like the stuff like everything, setting up the room, like there's so much that goes into it that really takes time away from just sitting down and talking, right? Like,
and even though we've reached so much of that stuff, I was even having a little issue right now before recording this episode. I was trying to connect my phone. It's a little miscellaneous. Didn't really need to spend as much time as I did. We'll get past that. We got past that. Here we are. And but, you know, we learned a lot of stuff. I kind of went through a phase of a little bit after the podcast, I was actually standing on my own business.
Yeah.
Businesses.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask you. What have you been up to since, like, we haven't been uploading every week. What's like the business back end on stuff like that been for you? Because you did
viciously making phone calls.
Of course, right.
Viciously making phone calls, trying to get in touch with more home sellers.
Relentlessly.
Learning, relentlessly, and learning what it is, and learning and failing and trying and making errors in that. And I found a really cool team.
Yeah.
Touch on more of that in a bit. Shout out Nelson, if you're watching this, you're the man. Appreciate you big time.
Yeah, you gotta show him this. Yeah.
And before that though, was doing a lot of by myself, making phone calls, not really knowing where I was going, why I was making so many mistakes, or why I wasn't getting enough attention or business in my real estate. But then out of nowhere, and actually, I was like, I need to go back to working a normal job.
Mm-hmm.
So I did start working at a dealership. It's just because I needed to make something happen. Otherwise,
Right.
fucking who's gonna keep the lights on type deal. So it's okay that it's okay to admit that, and it's okay for anybody else that might be trying to pursue entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Realize that there's gonna be some like, okay, well, I need to kind of like step back and reassess and maybe get a job and work at go back to what
Yeah.
I went back to car sales.
Keep the lights on, right? And fund the dream. You got to.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do. Just keep on making money. Obviously, I had broke a lot of habits and broke a lot of spending. A lot of the spending had gone out. So like, I didn't need to make much. I just needed to keep things going. And that's kind of why I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to car sales, but it was the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Ended up going back to selling cars, and just randomly started getting a lot of gigs booked. As like, it was random because I started to sell cars, and once I went back in there, it was like, no, like, this is your calling.
Yeah.
Something hit me. So it was on Facebook that I made a post months before, in the middle of like July, and then it was like October. No, yeah, it was about September, late September. I got the job at the dealership, and then beginning of October, or end of September, I started to get booked for all of October. I was booked every weekend, and then a little bit of November too. I was booked every weekend, and then I even got 2 gigs every weekend. So I was basically making, that month I made $4,000 to $5,000 in
off of your
DJing.
So to go back to touch on what you mean by getting booked and all this stuff, you did start a DJ, like a promoter company, like DJing company.
Yeah, I took High Fuse to the next level. I got an LLC because that's what I wanted to do with it to begin with. I made an LLC, made a bank account for it, and I started to broadcast and promote, market the business as like your party event plan or your party entertainment planner, or just DJ, bring the DJ, and started to get booked as a DJ.
Yes, sir.
And
so even though you realize you're like, I need to keep the lights on, I need to go back to work in a normal job, it was like the universe was trying to tell you, like, work the normal job, whatever, but like, I'm gonna start giving you what you've been working for, right? Like, you were putting in all this work, and all of a sudden it just started raining down, like raining, man.
It came in on me, and I started to actually make that money, and I was like off of it, and like the dealership was whatever, it was kind of in a smaller town type deal, and it wasn't doing my, it wasn't what I'm used to, fast paced car sales, like just one customer after another. The store didn't really even see too many of one customer at all.
Yeah, holy cow, yeah.
It didn't come out too good. So after getting gigs, I was like, this is awesome. Like, go all in, and I kept trying to like get more gigs. I was weird too because I got pulled over by a cop.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing. I got pulled over by a cop, and then it was because I just got a car. I didn't have license plates yet. It was a used car off the street, and I was driving to a gig, driving to a gig straight up, like the weekend of Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got pulled over by a cop, and then he's like, I know you have the stuff. Really, like, he's seen the sticker because it was a sticker for like the license plate that's temporary registration. Yeah, and he's like, I just need to need something to do, honestly. Like, he was fucking straight up,
He
like,
was bored. Yeah,
he's like, I just
shit
need
going on in this town.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm about to leave. I'm about to be off in like 10 minutes. You're
What are
like
you
my
up
last
to?
thing.
Yeah, what are
like,
you up to, dude?
yeah. I was like, dude, honestly, like, here's everything. I have my license of this and that. And he's like, we do this at because what I needed to do is to get the final license plate. I needed to have them verify the VIN.
Yeah.
And he's like, so you don't have your license plate because you haven't verified the VIN yet? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I still have a couple of weeks on there, so I was like, kind of just holding off. It's my problem. My ADHD issue doesn't hit emergency mode until it's
the day of. Huh?
Yeah. And like, he was like, yeah, man. So where are you headed to? What are you doing? Kind of more just trying to make conversation rather than trying to poke around. Yeah, that's what cops do. A lot of cops will try to poke around.
Yeah.
He was chill, dude. He was just like, oh, I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm actually going to a DJ gig right now. I'm like, I'm a mobile DJ. He's like, no way. One of the guys at the office does. One of the guys at the station does that. And like, yeah, he's like, he makes you guys get your gigs off of like one of those like bidding services online. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And
wow.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, like you guys go. I was like, I got my gigs off of like just putting myself up advertising on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no, I guess like you can put your services up on a
home bidding service or something like that.
Website,
or app, right?
Bidding website. And I was like, no way. Isn't that the craziest thing?
Like literally.
Could have been shitty. Could have gone to jail or something.
Yep.
But instead, I got.
It was almost like the
insight.
Universe showing you what to do.
Yeah, I was like, dude, try. Yeah. Like, if I was like, shit breaks. I was like, dude, he's gonna try to really fuck with me because that's what the cops do. They try to fuck with you real bad. And I was like, no, I mean, it ended well. Like, and then I kept going. Yeah, I kept getting more gigs until I think this is my first weekend without a gig since then, and it's February 14th. So busy. Yeah, just been busy every weekend.
It's good.
And trying to keep it going. I obviously like DJing. I'm trying to pivot though too because I don't love DJing the like mainstream music, but I'm kind of starting to realize like that's kind of what gets people going. That is like the most fun stuff. But like, and it's fun to me. I do like a lot of mainstream music.
Right.
It's cool. I guess
it's not your passion 100% to say, right?
Yes, but I am also. It is starting to kind of grow on me. I am kind of starting to get like maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to make my own music because that's what's gonna really set me apart from every other DJ in the world.
Yep.
Is making my own sound, making my own music. So I'm definitely still working on that. I know if you guys have been following the podcast for this long, you might have seen that was one of my goals. One of the goals we had set early on, that I was going to make my own song. Still haven't done that, Stand on business however you will, but stand on fucking business. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Got the gig start, and I'm still trying to keep busy with that. And then about a month ago, I did join a new brokerage. I was actually miraculously, just like how this whole thing with the DJ stuff happened, I got on Instagram, thanks to our beautiful producer over here.
Shout out
Sweet D. Sweet D. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She had sent me over these people that were on Instagram talking about, I don't think they were talking about my particular niche, wholesaling real estate. But they were talking about, do you remember what it was that they were talking about on Instagram?
I think they did hint about the wholesaling stuff.
Yes, I think she just told me to follow him. I think she was just something about...
There was like a class or something that they were going to hold.
Probate class. Yeah, it was a probate class.
For free.
And yeah. Go into... And I was like, dude, I'll be there.
Value. That's value, right?
And I told
you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take, right?
1,000%. And I was just like, yeah, I'll be there. And me just being the way I was... Literally a week ago, I was still this way, but this all happened probably end of November, that I got in contact that she had mentioned over that they're having a probate class. Go check them out. You should connect with these guys. And I just figured it was a probate class. Real estate agents, they have all types of classes to fit within a certain niche of whatever it is. And I actually ended up making my own Instagram posts. If you guys follow me on Instagram. I make tons of cheesy posts that I'm not very thrilled with, so don't judge me for the Instagram post that I post out. I use it for marketing. That's all. It's any social media is for me.
Yeah.
But it was me demonstrating a deal that I had done on my own. So I was like, yeah, I just got this deal done, and I was basically explaining the wholesaling real estate process, and I told that to Instagram. I posted it, try to get some more business. And since I followed him, he followed me back, and shout out Nelson once again. He was like, yeah, I need to get some deals dispoed. And I was like, oh, so he knows, like, deals dispoed is like a type of like lingo, I guess you could say, in the real estate wholesaling space. I was like, oh, so this guy, like,
he dabbles, huh?
Yeah, and maybe he just needs to get some deals sold, and he's just a regular agent, but he just needs to get some deals sold and understands that. And so I was like, hey, what's up? We got some deals. I'm, hungry as hell. So I was like, what do you got? Let me look at your deals. Let me put them in front of some of my buyers, and let's get some deals done.
Yeah.
And he invited me over to his office, and I was like, yeah, we can talk in person. I'm sure it'd be a great conversation to kind of get with somebody that's getting deals, and if he wants to like talk about like a pay structure and how we're going to do this. I'm still not very fully aware that he's a wholesaler himself. Right. I go and meet him. He tells me about how he's what he calls himself is a transaction engineer.
Wow. Which,
I mean, I've heard the term, I've heard the idea before, but it's really just being an agent, but also pitching to your clients that, I'm going to either get you your full value, or I'm going to get you the creative idea, your creative subject to purchase, transaction done. Either one that works best for you. Which one do you want the most, or you want to sell quickly? And so I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, it kind of like fucking got me excited to work with them. So I was like, dude, yeah, I mean, do you need a new person in your brokerage? And I had just moved brokerages, so it was kind of weird for me to do, because I was like thinking that these new guys that I had just met at a real estate meetup were gonna be like the end all be all, but then it turns out that they were also, it was actually with Neil with the deal, the guy that was on the other podcast episode that we had. He was actually our first guest, so shout out Neil. You're the man, bro. You're the man, brother. You had you had a lot of valuable meetups, and through the meetups I met Chris. Shout out Chris. He's a great dude too. Yep. Hope he's doing well. I'm sure he's doing well.
Just spoke with them, or Chris, right? From
he's Chris from Big Block Realty.
Oh, okay, nice.
Met the guy, and he was dressed head to toe in Gucci.
Let's go.
I was like,
dude.
It's like, this guy's for sure. He's him, dude.
Smells like money. Huh?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So I was like, I was like, this guy's, I'm sure some sort of, he probably understands real estate investing. Yeah. If there's anybody that's going to understand real estate investing, because I met him through. Right, yeah. And then I had moved over from his office over to Nelson's within like a couple of weeks. And I was like, because I met Nelson, he was like, I'm in the thick of it. I'm doing these. I'm not just the broker holding classes and this, that. He's like, I'm making phone calls and I'm doing the work. And I met his brother that works in the office too. Shout out Adrian, and shout out Jess. That's his daughter too. Nice. She works in the office, so it's like awesome. An office full of family, man. And they're awesome. I've been going. So when I first joined him that same week, I had a deal that I didn't know what to do with, because there was something going on with the title. It's kind of all mumbo jumbo. I'm probably gonna go past a lot of you guys' heads, but there was issues with the deal, the seller, and the house itself. Right. And I was like, why? Good luck, I guess. I told the client, and I was basically,
and I was already like, checked out.
Yeah, and then I was like,
nothing I can do. Yeah.
And so I was like, but Nelson has more experience in this. He might be able to tell me what to do here. And that's why I linked up with him. That's why I joined his brokerage to begin with, to like get some more insight on this. So I called him. I was like, hey, what's going on with this? He's like, dude, that's a deal. Let's get him back on the phone. Got him back on the phone, and then we actually ended up closing that. That was like the Friday that I had joined him Monday. Wow. That Friday we locked that deal up. 2 Thursdays later, we were paid.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Just like that, huh?
yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I can do this from home. I can continue doing what I'm doing still. I can continue making phone calls, and I was just the luck of the draw. It was the universe telling me like, here's a little something, here's a little kickstart. Get your ass out there, go get to work, get to the gym every day. Put your best shirt on.
Yeah.
You know, and
Put
go
in work, right?
go to yeah. What do you have? What are you doing at home? Anyways, making phone calls. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I will say, stop getting away from the word the universe. It's God. God is the universe. And I'll just shout out to the big man upstairs.
Yeah, I caught him saying that a couple times. I was like, yeah,
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, absolutely. It was definitely a force in whatever we've got going on here.
God.
Yeah. Whatever, that's
big man upstairs had a
that's tampering with our reality right now. Yeah, that's created this whole thing for sure. It was, one thing telling me, let's go and get out there, put your, best shirt on. These are the people you need to be around.
Yep.
And I took that for granted. I'm sure you guys are noticing like a pattern,
trend, right?
Yeah, trend and all this. I took a lot of shit for granted, and here I am, kind of now in this moment, scrambling. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to fucking get it together as of the last couple weeks because I'm like hitting a red mark in my just life and business, and everything's kind of coming to a short. If it's coming down to the short end of the fuse, where if I don't figure out something fast, I'm gonna have to fucking just go start flipping burgers or something.
Right.
But it's all my own fault. Like I said, a couple months ago, I was making $5,000 just to show up 2 days a week to go DJ.
5,000.
Yeah, well, the whole month.
Oh, the whole month. I see. Oh,
Plus,
okay,
I was working at the dealership that I made $3,000 at. So that whole month, I made like $10,000, and then I
beautiful, man.
made a deal. I made like probably $12,000 that month.
And just taking it from granted, though, right? And not like what could you have done differently though that you do think that, or what will you do differently now, like that you're aware?
I would spend more time in my business, more time structuring and planning and organizing and doing the work, not just saying, yeah, I did a good job there.
Yeah. This is going to be every month now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to keep my feet up. I'm going to, basically I'm not going to take it for granted.
There you go.
I'm not going to take it like I'm good now.
You got to still treat it like you're in that red line.
Yeah, definitely. If I was to be hit with a deal today, which I'll touch on in just a minute too, I'm gonna take the if it's a $5,000 play, it's a $20,000 play, if it's a $100,000 play, I'm gonna fucking pretend like I am broke.
There you go.
And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna pretend like I am right now because I'm pretty fucking. I'm sitting at this moment right now, but I'm gonna keep going in the direction of showing up to the office, which I have. That's a new thing that I've been doing. I have been doing something different. I've been showing up to the office 9 to 5 every day, and this is the sort of thing that you don't have to do as a real estate agent. That's what most real estate agents will probably be like, oh, I don't want to go to an office for 9 to 5. That's why I joined real estate. I want to be a solo, I want to be an entrepreneur, solopreneur, work from home, this and that. But that's not the reality of it.
Right.
You need to be as an entrepreneur, as a self-employed person, you need to be working more.
There you go.
You need to be showing up more often.
Yep.
And that's the one thing I knew, but didn't take too seriously.
Yeah. You had to go through the growth of realizing the uncomfortable reality of that, like, oh, this isn't just
going back to starting from breaking myself down in my personality and the learnings, the things that I've learned, and rebuilding and restarting. And it's
just a beautiful process, ain't it?
It's fucking painful.
It's painful, but it's so beautiful. It's so bittersweet, but oh man.
Yeah.
Embrace the struggle, right?
Yeah, but I'm here and I'm happy and I'm
proud
happy.
Of you, brother. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So I have been at the office the last 5 days. Monday. What was Monday?
Yeah, I think you went Monday. Yeah, you started going Monday.
I started going Tuesday. I think Monday there was. I was still coping. I was still coming up with some sort of excuse. I can't remember what it is now, but yeah, that's what after going to the office every day for 4 days this far. Makes you forget about all the bullshit.
And you mentioned something to me that really hit. You were like, I'm addicted to the grind now. Like, just by immersing yourself in it, the addictive personality really does come out in whatever you're doing.
I was so stressed a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm not very different, very far from where I was a week ago.
Right.
Other than I've been getting out of my
bro.
my comfort zone. I've been going to work. I've been grinding. I've been around other people instead of just working from my home office or room or whatever. And I feel very just energetic about things, to say the least.
Awesome,
I don't feel as like depressed as I did a week ago.
Yep.
So depressed that I probably wouldn't have been on here talking about this.
Straight up.
Now I feel good. Now I feel rejuvenated. I feel full of life. And not only that, showing up every day to the office, talking with my main man Nelson, the guy that runs the show over there. Yeah. Shout out again, dude. This is the third shout out for you. So you freaking...
we got to get you on at this point. We got to get you on to come.
Oh, and I'm not even done. So before I get there, where I'm going to get into that.
Yeah.
He got a deal today, and I'm always messing around. Even the car business. All my guys that know me from Nissan, Honda, Toyota, anywhere that I worked at. Yeah. Let me get on half. Let me get on half. Yeah. Always playing around with, let me get on half a deal. Nelson said, I got 2 listings today. I'm excited. You know, he's shouted himself out in the chat. So we have a group chat where we shout ourselves out when we make something happen.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I got 2 listings. I was like, let me get on half. And he comes over and he's like, dude, actually, one of them's in Joshua Tree. It's just bare land, but I know you got some people out there.
Yep.
Growing up out there. I built some, my buyers list out there a bit.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, he's like, let's co-list it. And you can, just
get
run me.
Yeah,
get on half, basically. So I was like, no way. I have high hopes of that happening. I mean, it's a piece of land which are hard to push, hard to move, because not everybody, it's not like a house. You're buying a piece of house or a house that people, you move into. It's not as regularly, but super grateful.
Yeah.
It's a real king move of him to put me in and help me out with that, because now it just gave me the opportunity to try to make something happen.
Yeah.
And it's it's definitely very I'm very grateful for that. I'm gonna do everything I can to make that move, because I make that move no matter what it is. It's gonna keep the lights on. I'm not gonna go have to scrub gum off the bottom of fucking In-N-Out's tables or whatever.
No shade, but
right?
Like
no, not at all.
Yeah, we want to keep that edge instead of losing it, all of it, and having to resort to just the bare minimum, the comfortability, right?
Yeah.
I heard a quote the other day, yesterday or the day before, when I was jotting down some notes for this episode, and it said the comfortable choice is usually the wrong choice. So, not to say that there's anything wrong with being comfortable or whatnot, but it applies to everything. Like if you have a choice, which I'm actually was faced with in my new job hunt that I've been recently doing. I was faced with a choice that's a little bit more of a drive, more of a commute, but bigger risk, bigger reward compared to the job right down the street where it's just comfortable, not as much money, not as much hours. But so I was faced with that dilemma of like, man, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? And I'll let you get back to what you were going with, because I know you weren't finished. But the comfortability.
Sure. That's what it's, yeah. You can choose the comfortable route and be easy. You're gonna make a steady amount of money. You're gonna know what you're gonna make. You're gonna be okay with that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have you'll inevitably have stress. Yeah. You'll inevitably run into some sort of turmoil on it, and you're gonna be like, damn, like I'm making money, but like I'm barely paying my bills, or I'm paying my bills, but I'm not making enough to just like go and do something.
No opportunity to even make more, really.
Yeah. When in car sales, it's like there's a little bit of stress, but I have the potential to make,
write your own paycheck, basically, right?
Yeah. So sales is it. Sales is the number one ticket. I think I heard Grant Cardone. He said if he was to lose it all, he would get back into a sales job. Yep. Car sales specifically, and just run up as much as he can, so that way he makes enough money to not only pay his bills but invest back into real estate. He says real estate.
Always go back to real estate. But the key word there is invest. It's like you can make 10 grand and 12 grand a month. God, I'm not going to keep saying the universe, but God literally has showed me and showed you multiple times you can make all the money, but if you don't reinvest it, if you don't do something, if you don't have a strong why or a good plan behind making all this money, you're just going to end up back where you were before you made all the money, brother.
If you don't have a plan, it's not going anywhere fast. You have a plan, your plan is suspended.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your plan is to kick your feet up and be like, I'm the man. I just made $12K. Bro.
I'm going to the cigar lounge 3 times this week.
Yeah.
Jeez.
3 times today, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the addictive personality in me just coming out. But yeah,
It's
you know what I'm
the
saying?
lack of self-control. That's what we're talking about. It's what I've realized I have the
Yes.
worst problem with. I'm trying to get better with it. I mean, we even did a thing where we were cutting off social media.
Yeah, which
It kind of worked.
I will say you got a little bit of a shout out, like one of the OG homies, Kyle Winter. Shout out Kyle. He was like, yeah, I adopted something from Michael. He's like, last time I was talking to Michael, he was telling me how he cut off all his social media, and like obviously he has to keep it for his business and stuff like that. But he's like, man, my life has drastically improved in the last like 2 or 3 months since I've just like, and it wasn't even anything that you said to him specifically in that moment. And he was like, let me do it. It was something you had said to him months ago, and then he remembered it. He was like, yeah, Michael was telling about cutting off the social media. And, you know, we slip up. We still catch ourselves scrolling every time, but not as much as we used to. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
When I catch myself scrolling, I'm like, ew, get away from me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I'll
Get
see
off
some
me.
funny stuff, but like, yeah, before I would literally be consumed for probably
Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole day
Yeah.
almost. Like,
So it's rubbing off. It's not only helping us, it's actually helping others. And it's
Little
just
by
like,
little.
that's beautiful. Like,
little by little.
yeah.
And we're always trying something new. We're always trying something different. And
Yeah.
like I was saying, we're gonna be going into a whole new segment, a whole new season. This whole
Yeah.
season of the Standing Up Business Podcast is gonna be so many new segments,
Yep.
so many new things that we're gonna be bringing to you guys, vlog style.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
interviews, reaction videos,
New challenges.
new challenge.
New challenge.
Jake loves a challenge.
I love
Jake,
a challenge. Shave my damn head without a challenge. Like shave my eyebrow next. No.
yeah, but the reality is, I mean, doing the challenges is great. I'm all for it. I'm down. I'm actually the office is doing a cold plunge in the mountains tomorrow, so
Wow.
we can go do that if you want to go and get some footage of that.
Dude, I'm down. I'm not scared.
It'd be
Yeah.
crazy, yeah. And it'd be a good way to camaraderie. I think it'd be a good way to camaraderie with the
Yeah.
big wigs there. And I mean,
Bro, yeah. You're gonna earn some respect by showing up there with your Rode mic, your camera, your buddy, and be like, yo, we're here to do the cold plunge. I don't even need a challenge. I just want to be a part of the cold plunge. You know what I mean?
Let me do it right here, right now on the
In the group chat,
in the group chat.
sign it up. What is it? Sign it in blood.
No, but and then also what I've been meaning to get to is that Nelson, well, the office has a podcast room.
Wow.
Like most real estate offices, they have their like content rooms.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice in there. Like it's pretty like really you'd imagine like a real estate like
Yeah, business type of.
yeah,
vibe,
so
right?
it's a different vibe than what we're used to here on the Stand On Business podcast, which I'm kind of uneasy about a little bit. But I mean, we got to try different things. I'm
Yeah.
totally down for it. I'll just bring the skateboard and just hang it up right behind us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah.
then and the little mushroom, and then we'll be right
We'll be
there.
right at home, baby.
Yeah. So we'll do that.
Yeah. But big guests coming for season 2. Big ideas in the works, and just all around growth, man. I'm excited for it.
Lots of changes.
Summertime is coming, so it's like,
Yeah, and before I think I was really like worried about how we're going to continue. Like, what if it gets stale one day? See, that's another issue that we have. You know, we can still get much better. There's still so much more stuff to get better. But like I was saying, I do feel like, well, I was feeling at one point, where is this going to lead to? I hope we don't ever get dry. I hope we don't ever. But then I actually listened to the radio the other day on my way to the office.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a radio show, and I was like, they're just talking about, like, they're talking, and it's entertaining, and it's not like too much factual information,
right.
but it's stuff that like
Good conversation,
good
right?
conversation pertain to their lives, other people's lives.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's like opinionated, and it's cool. It works.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since right now this is actually being filmed on February 14th. We all know it's Love Day.
Yeah.
I love love.
I
Oh
love
my goodness.
Love Day.
Yeah.
I love this day.
So there's always going to be something that we can talk about, something that we could bring to the table.
Yes.
And we hope that it relays to our conversation and our audience and our
message that our aura, right?
Our what I was going to say is, what is the word I'm looking for? our premise.
Yeah, premise of the podcast.
Yeah, like the standing on business.
Which we've talked
personal.
on relationships before. It's all about growth, right? We want to be the right person so we can find the right person ultimately, and have we want to be successful in all endeavors of life, right?
We also had this cat on here before.
Yeah.
She always interrupts for some reason.
Yeah.
Dang cat.
She has a good diversity with the color.
Yeah. She
got a little mix of everything going on here.
Yeah, and I think we even talked about how relationships seem so good, and we kind of ignore the good or the bad things because there's like either for whatever reason there's I think this person looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her curves. I love the way she, I want her to. If I told her I liked her body, I want her to hold it against me.
Yes. Would you hold it against me?
Yeah.
Nah, it all boils down to one thing, which I was doing a little bit of research the other day on this topic. It all boils down to one thing. It does. It boils down to many things, but the underlying root of it all is you're scared to lose that person. So you overlook the red flags. Like, you're like, this person is beautiful, this person's funny, this person does so much for me, yada, yada, yada. It could be so many things, but the deep down root of it all is I'm going to overlook the red flags because even
your self-esteem's too low.
Exactly, because you don't know when the next chance I might find another person as beautiful or as funny as her or as helpful as her, whatever the case may be.
Or throws it back on me like her.
So long story short, it made me realize, I was like, wow, like we often do overlook a lot of these red flags because when the red flags do pop up, the first initial educated response would be, does this fit in what I want in a successful marriage? The end goal always should be marriage. Like, I'm not here to tell everybody how to judge to do their life, but the end goal should always be to find that soulmate, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, what's the point of having these meaningless relationships unless you just like.
Yeah, I think when you're young too, it's something, and I'll be completely honest. That's another thing that I've learned throughout the podcast. When I was young, I didn't care about any of that stuff. I would have told you I don't want to get married. I would have told you I don't want kids.
Yep.
But through, we talked about this, is that we stopped, what do they call it? Gooning? Mm-hmm. As the kids are calling it nowadays.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
We were the original goons.
Yeah. And through that, I've kind of gained that monologue where I'm like, dude, I don't have that same lust for women anymore. I don't want to just do the dirty, with women. I want to actually find someone that's going to hold it down. And, I actually think I do. I think I do want to have kids.
Beautiful.
At some point,
That's what we're put here to do.
Yeah, I want to fulfill my biological purpose.
Yeah.
And I definitely need a little bit of time before I get there, but at some point, sooner than later, but not too soon, right? I still gotta, I obviously don't want to be fucking picking gum off the bottom of In-N-Out tables while I'm trying to raise a kid.
Of course.
But once that gets figured out, I definitely can see myself.
And I will say, just obviously, we want to be financially secure. Of course, that's the ideal, right?
I know what you're gonna say. I already know what you're gonna say.
But this guy, he made such a good point. He's like, for one, there is no good time. There's never a perfect time.
Expecting you to say.
You know me, right?
Yeah.
For two, what really hit home for me, and it made me just really be like, damn, that's so facts. He's like, your kids do not care about money. Like the kids don't know no difference about money. Obviously, we want to be financially secure to raise a kid. But he even said, he's like, some of the richest parents that I know are the worst parents. He's like, they're at yoga class with me at 8 a.m. while they're dropping their kid off with the Mexican lady to raise their kids, basically, because they have so much money. And they're just like, well, I got to go live my life and I got to pertain. He's like, honestly, some of the best parents I know are just the parents that are there for their kids that don't have all the money in the world. But you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just different perspectives, right?
This is not the way Louisa raised you.
Yeah. He's like, you might have all the money, but you ain't even raising your kid, Karen. You're dropping them off with the fucking maid every day, or you know what I'm saying though? And I was like, wow, that was a good way to put it into perspective,
And I don't want to be I don't want to be the richest person,
right.
But I definitely want to be
financially secure.
Financially secure. So
you don't want
I
to
don't
be
have
stressing on how am I going to keep the lights on when little Johnny's like, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and
rocking
it's
in his
sure.
crib.
I'm sure I can like. Well, figure it out.
You will
We'll
figure it out. That's the main.
You know, Johnny and I will. Little Johnny will grow our relationship.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to be able to be like, we're going to karate class together.
Yes, bro.
We're gonna go. Fire. We're gonna go to
and that's
play
what makes a good parent.
Baseball together.
Yeah.
You know, because it's gonna be shitty when I'm like, you know, yeah, sorry, you can't play. You want to play soccer with your friends?
Yeah.
I can't afford the jersey.
Which we've experienced that.
Right.
Growing up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely gonna get into that eventually. And it's kind of worrisome though too. Well, I think more so now as like I said, at my age, I'm starting to understand myself enough and starting to understand this whole relationship thing.
Yeah.
But if you're in a younger age and you do get into, I mean, maybe not younger, I don't know, but a lot of it seems to happen with the younger marriages. They end up split up. They end up splitting up.
Right.
When they're, you know, when I've been dating this girl since I was 16, and you're 22 now. You got married because you're 18. Now you're 22, 23. You guys are split up, and you have 2 kids. Like, and I think it's mostly because we're just like so like stuck in the infatuation of things.
Yes.
Like, that's not so much like the real love. Because I mean, you really can't. I mean, you could say you know yourself when you're 21, 22.
You don't have no life experience.
You don't fucking even know like your front end from back end. You know what I mean? And so when you're trying to like build a love life with someone else, and trying to understand them, you barely understand yourself.
And I love how you put that, build a love life, because you have to put in work for that. Like, so you have to be, in my opinion, somewhat established, right? Like established at least in yourself, like to know like, okay, I got myself figured out a little bit at least. Like, what can I add to this person and what do I need from this person, right? Like. Yeah. It's so true, bro. You don't even know.
But like when we're young, we want it so bad. We want to be in love.
We want that title. We want that. I don't want her to be with anyone else ever or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
And that gorilla grip doesn't help. No, yeah, when she's got that suction cup on you.
On her, huh? Dang, shorty, got that dang on her.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it any easier for a young man to decide, like, you know.
Oh yeah, especially when you don't have enough life experience or just sexual experience.
That was the best thing I've ever experienced, ever. You know,
it's the only thing you ever experienced. Yeah. Like,
oh God,
yep.
Do that again.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you say, honey, and then it gets old.
It gets old, man. Yeah.
You're like, whoa, I don't give a fuck. How. That thing doesn't even do the same thing it used to do anymore. Like, things worn down. Yeah. Tired of this. But you're annoying, you know. Like.
Yeah. So I agree. I do agree with that.
So it's tough. It's tough picking a love life.
A lot of young men have to find that out the hard way. You know, by either getting married, having all these things, or even not even getting married, just getting, falling in love and then falling out of love. It's a hurtful experience for both people. You know what I'm saying?
It takes a certain type of young person to be okay with the sad and ugly truth, which gets sad and ugly. We start to get older. Yeah. Including yourself, people including change. The person you're with. They start to get older, and then they start to get uglier. Yeah. I mean, they might get a little better, but they might get a little bit uglier. They might get a little bit,
and so will we.
And so will we. And then that's the thing too, is when you're young and in a relationship, you sacrifice a lot. You have a kid, and then you do these things that are like, I have a kid, so I can't work out as much. She had a kid, so she's got the baby belly still, and she can't work out as much. You guys love each other, so there's no reason to like try to work out or try to like improve your personal self. So you're comfortable, and you don't want to work at like being the best you could possibly be, because you're like, I already found the person and the love of my life.
And then your eyes start to wander because you're not secure where you're at, and you're just like, you start to picture yourself, damn, I could have been with so and so, or I could have been with whatever.
And look at them now, like they didn't have any kids, and they're buff, or whatever, and like, oh my gosh, I should have done that instead. But it's the sad reality is, even if you were to have gotten with that other person that is buff and whatever, you guys would have gone through the same cycle. You would have gotten comfortable. Yeah. I mean, and hey, I'm probably talking for myself here. I'm probably not saying, Yeah, I'm not probably saying much about anybody else's lives. So if you guys think I'm talking about you guys are coming for anybody, it's not like that.
But if the shoe fits, run a mile in that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Right?
it's the tough reality of life, and unless you're willing to accept that, like, I love this person because I love this person.
Yeah.
I'm okay if they get old and ugly and,
Right.
and start to hang down to the ground.
Right.
You know, both ways, both, guys
Yeah.
and girls.
Yeah,
Girl looking at her guy or guy looking at his girl.
Yeah.
If you're willing to accept that, true love is for you.
Yeah.
At a young age.
Yeah.
You're going to go and get old and you guys are going to be happily ever after.
Right.
And that's the reality of too, is like, even if you do find someone later in life, like, you guys are both eventually going to get old and wrinkly. And and you got to love the person for who the person is. And
that's what, so true love stems, like, going back, like, what is true love?
From deep, from inside. You're
inside,
you
right?
love someone because...
More so, what true love really is, like, the way that I was, watching this video or whatnot, and the way he explained it, he says, to find out if somebody truly loves you, you first must ask the question, do I truly love that person? Will I be with them through all of this stuff? Because if you're like, I catch myself looking at other people, or I catch myself not wanting to necessarily be there, then odds are the true love, it's never reciprocated on both sides. It's just convenient for each other to be together, or to waste time together, or you see what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's a waste of time. It's like, might as well cut it off now because it's just a waste of time.
Go do what you want, go be, a demon.
Yeah.
Downtown Riverside. Shout out Downtown Riverside.
Yeah.
I'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
What
Mescal's.
Yeah.
Down to what is it? DTE. Downtown Experience. Yeah, all those places. I'll see you guys real soon, trust me.
But long story short, how do you define love / what is love? First off, God is love. That's where we get love from. Like, we don't have the capability of loving unless God gave us the ability to love. But love is kindness, it's compassion, it's patience, it's understanding, it's selfless and willing to pour into that individual. So it's almost like everything I get from that little conglomerate of words is you're removing yourself and what can I just do for this person? That's what true love is. So,
and if you're willing to, and you honestly just have to love yourself. You have to be willing to understand who you are, what you want, and how far you're willing to sacrifice the things that you are internally, who you are internally. And you got to understand that you're not going to sacrifice this.
Exactly.
You're not going to put up with that.
Exactly.
You know what you want. You know your daily routine is. You know you like to have your breakfast in bed, and if someone, or you like to do certain things certain ways, you're not going to give that up. And if you do a certain thing a certain way in your own cycle, at a young age, you realize you're not going to give any of those things up.
Exactly. But then you start to make the sacrifices for somebody who's like, because you have a scarcity mindset, or if you do have a scarcity mindset, I can speak for myself. You find an attractive partner, you have a scarcity mindset of like, oh, I might not be able to find someone as soon as I found this person, or as attractive as this person, or that I connect with. But you ignore all the red flags of like, well, even though I like to eat healthy and be in the gym, she's making me eat McDonald's every night and telling me, don't go to the gym, you're fine exactly how you are. So it's like, I'm telling myself, yeah, this will pass. It's like I'm suppressing these red flags when in all actuality, it's more smart, or it's just smart. I'm trying to work on my vocabulary as well. But it's just better to be like, to nip it in the butt from the beginning and be like, this person doesn't align with my values. I know I like to be in the gym. I know I like to eat healthy. This is what makes me happy. Why am I sacrificing my pleasures to be with this person for the sex, the romance, the whatever it may be?
The comfort. It's hard to explain or pinpoint what it is that us humans provide to another human.
Yeah.
It's a one-off, very unique thing. It's the compassion, the skin to skin, it's the
connection you have with whatever it might be.
It's another human being that is making you feel comfortable, that can't be replaced by anything else.
Wow, yeah.
Nothing, like you want to feel another person. Like, if you're someone that can just be alone, God bless you. You know what I mean? Like,
you're
that's a superpower in itself. But the majority of people just want someone to love, and that's where we're gonna leave it with you guys. Hope you guys, unless Jake has anything else to say.
I like it.
Hope you guys, don't ban us.
Don't flag us.
Or don't, what do they call it? Cancel us.
Yeah, don't cancel us.
But Standing on Business is going to continue standing on business.
All 2025, baby.
All 2025. So much more content to come. Very excited to clip some of this up for you guys and give you some short form content. Not only that, do just more regular day-to-day content and new stuff that we haven't tried before, so bear with us a little bit.
New guests.
We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep doing. You guys thought you guys seen the Last of Us, but
can't keep me down. Can't
we're
keep
coming
me out
for
this
more.
motherfucker.
Peace.